Today we're talking about 5 awesome tips of how you can build up your resilience. Number 1 is called reframing, which is basically where you, no matter what happens to you externally in the world or what people say to you, you choose the response that you want. Now it takes a lot of practice, like any other habit, it takes repetition consistently to build up your ability to choose a powerful response. But the keys of this is when something bad happens to you. So let's say someone cuts in front of you on the highway and you can feel what that does inside your body. So number 1 is just feel what's happening and take a breath. Don't respond, don't be reactive. And then take that breath and see if you can practice choosing a more empowered response. So if that guy cuts you up, then choose your response and take a breath and say, well, maybe that guy or girl is in a massive rush, they're in an emergency, or, maybe you feel like they're having a bad day. I kind of feel for them that they're driving like that. So by choosing more powerful responses on practice, like every little thing that happens during the week and day, and you'll find when it comes to a big event, you can actually become incredibly resilient because you've trained yourself. It's like another powerful habit. So number 1, take a breath or 2 before you choose your response. Try and avoid being reactive. So number 2 is all about self-awareness. This is huge, not only for building resilience, but it is also massive for actually having tremendous kind of breakthroughs in how you feel, your emotions, your freedom, your power, your love, your ability to deal with conflict, your ability to work through fear, actually use fear as an advantage for you. Self-awareness unlocks so much. And so specifically what I'm talking about is many of us are only aware, and if you think of an iceberg and our consciousness of our thoughts, that we can hear those thoughts, but many of us are not aware of the rest of the iceberg, which is the hugest part underneath the ocean. And that is the deep kind of subconscious emotions and thoughts that we're having, the things that are going on inside our body when things happen in the world. So I want you to practice this, because when you start to really focus on how you're feeling at an emotional level rather than a thought level, you'll start to actually find patterns of your self-sabotage. It's the things that hold you back, the things that close up your heart, the things that hold you back from taking action. It's all about capturing the feelings without self-judging or beating yourself up about how you feel, and just owning your whole experience of what you're going through. But the more you listen to your emotions, the more incredible guidance your body and your emotions are going to give you to actually get through difficult situations. Yoga is fantastic. So that's my tip. Take on some yoga, learn about breathing, being incredibly grounded and present, and listening to how your body is feeling without judgment. Number 3 is practicing, actually flipping the switch on things like fears and step into tension, step into fears and tension. So most of us are actually, we see, or we're trained to see, or we're raised to think that fear is a bad thing. Tension is a bad thing. Stress is a bad thing. I believe all of those are only bad things when they're blocked, when they're suppressed. And that's when it builds up inside us and becomes, major chronic problems that can actually have physical damage in our body. Now, we can actually flip the switch on this and start to train ourselves to actually step into fears, even deliberately, and to get better as a skill at dealing with fear and tension. Because if there's one thing guaranteed, we're gonna face fear and tension every year, every week, often in small little ways every day. It could be speaking to a stranger or someone we feel a bit nervous about, and then we're pulling back and closing up from that. Whereas what we want to be doing is opening up and communicating better and more authentically without this pulling away and closing. So when we train our fears and ability to step into tension, we find we can start to open doors where we're okay with conflict and we're okay with anything that could happen in the future because, again, like reframing, we've trained this stuff. So my number 3 big tip is practice actually stepping into fears. So practical tip, do this in small little doses every moment you can. So if it's something where you want to say hi to someone that you like, or say hi to a stranger for no reason, then if you find yourself pulling away, just see if you can step just a little bit over the edge of your comfort zone and practice leaning into your fears. Just go say hi. Just go and take up that new class that you've been avoiding. So look at all the things you've avoided and then try and step into them. Number 4, focus on letting go of attachments that don't serve you, rules, and expectations is the other one. So yeah, be really, really careful on how many of these things there are in your life, because these are, I'm going to see if it's on the screen or chopped off the bottom, attachments, rules, expectations. Look at books about how you can start to see how these can be very, very damaging to you. We're raised in society with so many rules and expectations more than ever before in our marriages and our relationships. We're expected to fulfill our partner's needs forever and keep them happy forever in every single way. And it's a lot of pressure on all of us. And there's no wonder a lot of the times it doesn't work. And attachments is often said to be the source of all pain. A strong attachment says that when you lose that thing, then it's going to really, really damage you. So there's a way to love very, very freely without being so tightly dependent on external things. So this, for me, resilience is huge, because a lot of the end of a relationship is because, of course, there's these heavy, heavy attachment feelings and expectations. And so when that doesn't make it, sometimes then it becomes devastating to us. There's a way to love freely. It will build resilience. The less attachments, but the more free-flowing love that you can put out there. And number 5 is always keep an eye on or maintain your fitness and your nutrition as you get older, because that is going to naturally build resilience anytime you come to a massive life change or a curveball that happens. And maybe, again, the end of a relationship and you're thrown back in the wild. If you build up this fitness, not only does it help you physically, but mentally that fitness is going to help you. It's going to give you more confidence, more self-esteem to go back out there and attack the world again in such a great way. So these are my 5 tips for resilience. We'll talk soon.